wake up in the morning, love.
All right, Chattanooga, welcome again to What's Happening in Your Neck of the Woods with your talk show host, Dr. Elenora Woods. Yes, where we do it all the way right here every Saturday at 1, sometimes 2, depending on what's going on in my life. But we are excited, y'all. This is now a new season. We ended summer after Labor Day weekend. We went into fall. Now you can start seeing the trees beginning to change. We got all these beautiful colors of orange, brown, red, yellow, and it just looks really pretty outside. So, welcome to our show today. We got a nice show lined up for you all, and we're going to talk about two things. One thing we're going to definitely talk about, which is our civic, moral responsibility, and our duty to our family and to ourselves, and that is to vote. I know you all have different opinions about it, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to educate you. Our guest today is going to be none other than Mr. Dennis. I call him Dennis Milton, who is very politically active and has had a lot of experience in this area. He's going to kind of talk about that. We're going to talk about holding people accountable. You know what's going on all around the world, but what's going on in your neck of the woods right here in Chattanooga, Hamilton County? Why is it so important for us to be engaged civically? And also, I want to dive into this generational gap between our children or our younger adults. And well, I guess do you think I qualify for the seasoned woman now? Have I reached that? Okay. So Michael is giving me a thumbs up. I'm now officially a seasoned wise woman. And so I remember when I wasn't. Oh my gosh. I was just like the younger ladies. I had the same attitude, where you get grown and you think you know some stuff now, you got a little attitude about stuff. You think your parents are old fashioned. And, I've said a couple of times, we don't do things that way. That's the old way. All these different little things. And not only was my parents or my mother and the people in that generation wiser, but they were just really, really smart. And because they didn't have all this technology, Robin and Michael, they had to have other senses. And that sometimes I think the younger generation don't necessarily have to have, because we got all this digital technology and you got Siri talking for you. You can just say, hey, Siri, blah, 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 blah. And Siri will answer you. Or you could just get on the computer and Google something and bam, there it is. Well, we had to go to the library. We had remember those encyclopedias? Oh my gosh, remember that? Oh God. And if you didn't have an encyclopedia, I call it a volume of encyclopedias in your house, you weren't hip. Like your family was way behind. Like, you were not where you needed to be in life on the economic scale, because people had encyclopedias in their house. They were considered uppity, right? And so now, if someone sees encyclopedias in your house, you're like, ooh, they're behind. Why they still have those books, right? So yours truly, Dr. Elenora Woods, has been invited to be the keynote speaker at Hamlet Chapel CME Church on next Saturday. And you all are going to hear how the wise, seasoned woman and the younger women or ladies need to work to bridge this generational gap. Like, what happened, y'all? Like, why is the gap widening as days go on? What's going on? And I've had an opportunity to interview some wise women, some young women, even my own kids, because I like to know what they think too, you right? And they like to know what I'm thinking. And so they're going to be there next Saturday. I've invited my church. If you're listening, invite your church to come, because there's some things in the ministry that we can do to help these young ladies come up better and be a better service to God. That's ultimately, at the end of the day, what it's really all about. And to put God in the middle of everything, you get the disrespect out, because it's hard to serve God and be disrespectful. And I'm not talking about young people being disrespectful to older people. I'm talking about us seasoned women also not giving respect to the younger folk, who, by the way, we always say, well, they weaker, but the Bible says they're wiser, and that too. They are much wiser, because why? They getting it quicker. We got all this artificial intelligence going on. Like I said, we're in the digital age, but there's something about what God said is so true. And that is, but they're weaker. How are they weaker? Well, you got to come and hear me speak next Saturday if you want to get all the juice. And I'm telling you, I've been on the computer. I've been using the computer, this digital technology. I've been using that. But guess what? Because I'm a wise woman, I need to also go back to the way we did things, the only way we knew how to do things, and that is to research. And what does research involve? It means interviewing people, getting personal stories, getting people personal experience that you cannot find on the computer, hearing it from people that you are working with. I've interviewed folks on the job. So if you all want to know the real deal about how to bridge this generational gap, you got to come and hear me speak next Saturday. It's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. And let me give y'all the address, because I think my engineer has engineered a nice, slick flyer, y'all. And I look kind of cute on that flyer. Put that flyer up. I'm kind of digging that flyer. I said, "Ooh, you got that? Ooh, there I go. There I go." Dr. Woods, keynote speaker at Hamlet Chapel next Saturday. That's next Saturday, y'all. So y'all got 7 days to get it together. It's going to be at, what's the address? 2512 Coward Street. That's downtown. And y'all, this is going to be live. I'm telling y'all, we're going to get down. We're going to get down. We're going to get to the bottom of this, because I interviewed my daughter, my oldest daughter, and I was surprised to hear what she had to say. When I interviewed her, I was like, okay, so Megan, that's my oldest daughter, Megan. So like, I'm speaking next Saturday, and I've got to get this material together, and I don't want it to be just what I think. So I'm interviewing a lot of folks, and you're one of the persons I'm going to interview. So what's wrong? Like, what are we doing wrong? Because younger folks always say, oh, they're so old fashioned. They're doing it the old way. We got this right here. We're doing it this way. And they don't respect us, and they need to move out the way. I even told my mama one time, some old people need to die, mama. They need to just go on. God need to call them on in, because they are stagnating growth in society. And she would be so mad at me. And now that I'm wiser, now I'm like, oh, did I say that? Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Because now I'm the older person, right? And I don't want people saying, I don't want to die, y'all. Don't kill me. Let the Lord come and get me, but don't rush me. Please don't rush me. Don't rush me, Dennis.
I won't.
Hey, Den.
Hey, Dr. Woods.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Den is in the house, y'all. And he going to bring it live. We're going to be talking about this politics stuff and our obligation, our moral obligation to society. There he is. There's my boy. There he is.
I keep forgetting y'all are live.
Yo, we live.
Like, crap. When you do radio, you can be the voice.
Yes.
But you can actually see us.
Yes. Look at Den. Ain't he handsome?
I'm wearing a t-shirt today because it's raining out. It's raining really bad outside.
Oh, it's raining.
Bad.
Oh, wow. God's going to wash some of this stuff away, because, honey, the air need to be clean.
The
people.
It's a major baptism. People just need to go stand outside. And you can be baptized right now in the rain.
And you know what? Hamlet is having, they had a big citywide revival this past week. And today is the good old fashioned baptism at Chickamauga. And they're up there baptizing folks. I hope they ain't in the water. The lightning come. Oh my God.
Oh,
I wonder what they're doing.
Do you go to Hamlet?
I don't go to Hamlet,
Okay.
but I love Hamlet. Okay. That's one of like my sister, brother, like
gotcha.
mother,
sister
father.
churches.
Yes, okay. I love them. Shout out to Reverend McLean. You doing the thing in the community. You are all over the place helping mankind, and you are doing the thing with bridging the gap in the churches.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he is amazing. And so shout out to you and thank you and your church for this amazing opportunity to come out and talk to us wise, seasoned women, us older seasoned women, and our young girls, young ladies about this generational gap and what we need to do to stop the nonsense.
So you're the keynote speaker.
I am
on the 23rd.
Yes, you got to come
and
out.
It's a women's breakfast, so men cannot come.
Men can come.
Okay, so I can come get free breakfast
because you need to know. You need to get some free breakfast.
Get some free food. I love going to stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. I've invited my whole church, our women ministry, and the girls, the young women ministry. They're gonna be there.
Gotcha.
They want to know what are we doing wrong. And y'all, this is not a session where Dr. Woods is going to come down hard on young ladies. No, it's not going to. I'm not going to tell y'all everything, but you need to be there because we have we need to look at ourselves, some self-examination ourselves as older women and what we're doing wrong and talk about it and let the younger folks know, okay, so this is where we have a line right here. And you may be over here, but we got to get you over on our side. And you all have a line, and you may say, okay, yeah, we're over here, and we need to bring you over here on our side. How do we do that without getting on each other's nerve?
Right.
And how do we do that without going, you know what? I'm not even they lost. They're lost. We're not fooling with them. And I was telling them earlier before we went on the show, I used to hear my dad say this all the time because he smoked. And I was like, oh, that would be so cool to smoke. And I remember one of my friends, she lived down the street and she came over and she smoked because she stole her parents' cigarettes. And she tried to encourage me to smoke with her.
I'm so glad you didn't.
And I did not. I was like, and she was out there smoking in the backyard and Daddy opened up the back door. And he was like, what are y'all doing out there? I said, Daddy, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's her. I'm not doing it. I said, but Daddy, I said, you smoke though. He said, do as I say. Don't do as I do. Ooh, I used to hate that.
I hate that.
Do as I say.
It's a little hypocritical.
It is very hypocritical, but you know what? Older people, we bad about that, you know? And that's where this thing come from. I'm not going to tell it all. I'm going to say one more thing. That's where this thing come from. Not partying with our kids, you know, not drinking in front of our kids, because we knew we would tell the younger folk, you know, you're not supposed to be drinking. Don't drink.
Don't drink.
Don't party. Y'all can't go to them parties. That's the heathens at the party, right?
I was at those parties.
Oh, I was at one last night with you, wasn't I?
No, they were not heathens. That was not a heathen party.
It was not a heathen party. I am selective.
That's right. You were.
But I was partying with the 30-year-old. I'm so
It was the love drug. Speaking of drugs, it was the love drug experience.
Oh, and when I heard the title, I was like, I don't know about this. But
no
my
drugs.
Niece, she was part of putting that thing on.
And what's your niece's name?
Vanita.
Okay.
Rose.
Shout out to Vanita Rose.
So she said, Auntie, I got you and Mom a
VIP table.
A VIP table. I want y'all to come and support me.
And y'all were up in there.
We were up in there. We were probably the oldest one.
It doesn't
matter.
We
probably the old crowd up in there. We was like, okay, we looking old. So I try to go looking kind of young. You know, I didn't.
Well, you look good last night.
I looked good last night.
And thank you for inviting me.
Oh yes, I told Dennis, where are you?
I was
Get
at
down
home.
Here, Like, yes, and thank you for coming. I know you had a good time.
I did.
And you know what, y'all? Let me tell y'all something about Den Den.
Den Den. That's.
I don't care what y'all say.
It's only like 5 people that call me Den Den. She's one of them.
Den knows everybody. Don't even try to talk about nobody.
Maybe I should run for mayor.
Yeah, Den Den.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Den knows everybody. So I sat down at my table, and we came in the room. At the door was the host of the big show, the guy, the headliner.
Chris Torgano, CT.
Yes, his mom.
Yes.
And he was I was like, he knows her.
I know.
He knows his mom. And they were kicking it over there talking. So I got up from the table because I had to know what's the relationship here. Yeah. And they're like, cool. So what is that relationship? How long have you known them?
I have known the Gina Torgano, that's CT's mom, Chris Torgano, who was headlining the Love Drug Experience. I've known them since high school.
Wow.
You know, I grew up kind of in the East Chattanooga, Brainerd area. And so he's kind of like my little god brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was so proud of him. Let me tell you what he did, y'all. and it kind of made me feel kind of like, oh, I need to get my stuff together. Oh my God. He introduced his wife
Portia
from the stage, and he bragged on his wife how fine she
She
was,
is fine.
and said, I done put 2 babies up in her at one time because he got twins.
He has twins.
And he said, come on, I'm gonna feel on you tonight. He said, come on, let me love on you. And right there at that moment, he left the stage, went over to where she was, and began to love on her. You know, like show affection to her.
Yeah, in the middle of the show.
Right in the middle of the show.
Which is amazing.
It was amazing. And then he spoke these words. He's like, I've been with her 15 years and we've been married 8. I was like, 8? He don't even look like he's 20.
We're probably knocking on 40s.
Oh, wow. And I mean, he looks so good. And his wife, I was like, I had twins too. And I was looking at her and I was like, dang, she is fine. I mean, she looked good.
Portia Torgano, local real estate agent.
Yes. And I was like, she looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, she does. That was a great show.
It was
celebrating local artists.
Yes. And okay, so it was the thing that got me a little nervous when they said love drug. I was like, oh, drug? I mean, ooh.
That's like, it's like being people
addicted
to the idea of love.
Of love.
It's like dangerously
I was like,
crazy love.
Crazy love.
Addictive love.
Yeah, addicted love. And then I was like, cool. God was like, yes, we need to be addicted.
To love.
Yes, we need to love. And love will make you do crazy things like drugs make you do crazy things. Like it'll make you.
That's why I'm single as of today.
Love will make you do crazy stuff. Me too.
You single? That's another show.
That's another show.
That's on Maury.
Oh,
that's for the Maury show.
Y'all, look, I'm telling you all on what's happening in your neck of the woods. Dr. Woods tell it all. I tell it all. You
know what? This is like my semi-return from semi-retirement from being on the radio. I forgot I did this for like 2 years.
And you good
on
at
another
it.
station.
Yeah.
And so I haven't done radio like this in 2 to 3 years.
And he is so good.
I just like having conversations with people. That's all radio is. Just conversation.
Conversation.
You get to kind of like, listen in on our conversation.
Yes.
We say crazy stuff,
yes.
private stuff, interesting stuff, controversial stuff.
Oh, yes.
Which I'm sure we'll get to.
Oh, we're going to get to that. And, I don't beat around the bush about anything, but I am a little careful because, we got our little
tactful.
Yeah, we have to be a little tactful because we're professional.
We still play with people.
Yeah, we're professional.
We gotta be nice on the playground.
We still out here making a living. We're not like retired yet, so there's a little bit of responsibility that goes along with being on the radio. And so we tell it, but we also leave it up to the listeners to go whichever way they want to go.
Right.
That's how I frame it, because I don't want y'all to think I'm one side or the other, but y'all know I'm one-sided. But I can't tell y'all which side I'm on, because sometimes that side may not be popular. But I got to put it out there. We're going to get to that. But let's close this thing out about next Saturday. You all don't miss Dr. Woods on the mic, because I pretty much don't have any notes in front of me. Like I'm going right off the cuff. So I'm telling the truth. It's hard to go off the cuff when you're lying. You got to have paper in front of you. You got to go, okay, now I say what next? Okay, yeah. Then you look back up at the camera. No, I'm off the cuff. And when you're off the cuff, you can be real. Why? Because you're telling the truth. So don't miss next week. The 23rd, Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning is breakfast. And them folks over at Hammer can cook.
That's the motherboards. That's a historic.
Oh,
that's them churches that still have real motherboards.
Oh, yes. And they had a big feast here. And them sisters can cook. Now, those are the wise women. I'm telling you, them the seasoned wise women. That's some of the stuff that my children and some of the young ladies, now we're going to have to hook up, and we're going to have to teach y'all some of this stuff, because we don't need to lose that. Some of the younger men looking at us, older women. I'm like, honey, I'm old enough to be your mama. They're like, I don't want you. They're like, I don't want you to be my mama. I want you to be my mama, but I don't want you to be my mama.
Like your sugar mama.
Yeah, they want me to be their mama. They wanna come. I'm like, okay, we got to get you girls together. We got to get you young girls together. We want you all to get some of these good men out here. I shouldn't be talking about romance, but anyway,
Right.
we need to teach our young girls and young ladies the way they keep their men at
Yeah.
home and their families, because we losing our families, we
Mhm.
losing our men, we losing everything. And then us seasoned women, we sitting here collecting. We collecting everything. That's not the way it ought to be. So we're gonna teach y'all some stuff, and guess what? We're gonna let y'all teach us some stuff. Cause we don't know everything. We
We
don't.
know a lot.
We know a lot.
We know better.
We got some good training. We got some good hands-on type stuff, that you never lose.
Right.
I always tell everybody, you can go to college. We all got these degrees. Some of us do, some of us don't. But if you don't have it in your hands and you're not naturally intelligent,
Mhm.
then you're gonna be lost.
Right.
You're gonna be lost. So if you don't have natural intelligence and you haven't been to college and you don't have a hand skill trade, what we gonna do? So we're gonna teach y'all some stuff. We gotta get together. We gotta get together. That's next Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, 2512 Coward Street. Don't be late. The food might be gone. Don't be late. And definitely don't miss me, because I have been researching. And I know we got Siri, we got Google, we got all this stuff. I used a little bit of that, but guess what I found out? In doing a presentation, it's best to get personal experience,
Mhm.
talking to people, interviewing them, and getting that personal interview with folk. It makes it so much more interesting. You feel it, like I'm feeling it. I felt when Megan was telling me what she was telling me. I was like, oh, okay, baby.
Megan, we love you.
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling mama that. Like, I never thought of it that way.
Right.
So we can learn from the younger ladies. And that's what we're going to start doing.
What's next?
Yes. Voting, registration. And you already told me you're done
What was
with getting people
feedback
registered to vote.
Have you talked to people? Like, do people call in?
What
tell me
it
how
is,
they feel?
yes, they inbox us and stuff
Okay.
like that. So their thing is, they want to know, most of the people want to know, okay, so the people that are in office ain't doing what they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
So if I go vote and vote for who I want, it ain't gonna matter. They're gonna get with the other folks and they're gonna disregard what we want. So why should I go vote? So tell them why. Okay, so we put these people in office. What is our next role? Once we vote and we get the people that we want, or maybe some people that we don't want,
Right.
what should we be doing as citizens after they're elected?
You should show up at their meetings. Like, city
Mm,
council meets on Tuesday.
mm,
County commission meets on Wednesdays.
mhm.
And
School board meets when?
school board meets the third Thursday of each month. So they
Mhm.
meet once a month on Thursdays.
Tell
So
us
I think
about
it
the
was-
county, because I had a conflict with the county. When do the county meet?
They meet every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
In the morning.
I know, it sucks.
I know. So, like,
It's not
working
very-
people like me, we have to take off work, which, if it's a real pressing issue, Dr. Woods will rearrange her patients and I'm going to be there. But for most people that have a 9 to 5, they
It's
cannot
very
rearrange the
difficult to be
schedule.
civically engaged.
So, but guess what? Thanks to you, smart, young, intelligent
What have we done?
millennials and all of you X generation folk, guess what, folk? You can go to your computers, pull up the meeting live.
Oh yeah, you can stream it live.
Oh, baby, they stream live now, baby. You are there when you're not there. And I believe you can type in questions.
You can, or you can go back and watch it.
Yes. So guess what? 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning, every Wednesday morning, now it's 11 of them, right?
Mhm.
11 county commissioners are sitting in those 11 chairs with, most of the time, 9 out of 10, your county mayor, Weston Wump. And a lot of times your district attorney is there. All of these folks that you want to have questions answered from, they're there. They're there. Listen to what they have to say, because a lot of times the things that you are upset about, don't understand. These are the people that are making decisions about A, where you get to live, B, how much it's going to cost where you live, C, your taxes, how much your taxes going to be if you're fortunate enough to own your own home, and just things in general, your health department, all of these issues that matter most to you, a homelessness, all this stuff that we get so upset about, crime, and what's going on with the sheriff department is handled in the county meeting. What's happening with your tax dollars? They get $1 billion. They got $1 billion. The county, I'm not saying they're rich, but they got a lot of money. And so you need to know, because you're paying taxes. You may not own a home, but guess what? When you go pay for your food, when you go in the store and buy your items that you want to wear, all of these things have taxes on it. You're paying for that, and that money. Oh, when you get a hotel room, they get some hotel tax money out of that to go into that budget. Everything that you buy with your money, your dispensable money, is going into the equation to pay for the things that the county and the city is using every day in this city of Chattanooga and in this county of Hamilton County. It's paying for their paycheck. You work for the county now, don't you?
I work for the state.
You work. Oh, he works for the state.
The just so, because I like correct information.
Correct it.
Your state, your local district attorney's office, most of them are state attorneys. Like the district attorney is a state employee.
Okay. So does any money come from the county?
Yes, the county can give money to the district attorney's office for different things. Because
Okay.
we're in a county building.
Okay. So most of the time, they will request funds to help them complete their budget that
That's
the
right.
state
That
does
is
not
correct.
have.
And that could go towards salaries.
It could go towards salaries. It could go toward, they may want a new car, or they may want some new technology. They may, a lot of stuff they need that the county budget may or may not utilize their funds to apply toward those budgets.
Yeah. I can't remember what percentage of the district attorney's office budget, because there's two separate budgets. I can't. It's not a lot though. The majority of the budget comes.
Is it
from
more
the
than
state.
10%?
It's a little bit more than 10%. Yeah.
Okay, so it's more than 10%, but not a lot.
Not
much
a lot.
More
The
than
majority
10%.
of that money comes from the state.
Okay, all right. So look at here. Even at the state level,
Mm-hmm.
the money coming from the state. Who you think that money's coming from? Right? Some of it's coming
Taxpayers.
from Washington, because they have to
Taxpayers.
get money from the, Congress passes these, but you got your state folks that work at the state house. You got your senators that work in the state. You got your Congress people that on your behalf is going to Washington, your U.S. Congress, your U.S. Senator, U.S. representatives. All these folks are working on your behalf, and they're getting money from Biden, the big folk. They're getting money in that
Federal.
budget and filtering it down to the state, who in turns filter it down to the local level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how money goes. Washington, big feds, right? Feds pass it down to state. That's your state governor, right? Governor Lee. Then Governor Lee got all his people, and then they're fighting for money for their different, I call them municipalities, or different local areas in the state. So we're all part of this big equation. So we all need to hold them accountable. When we elect them for these positions and they get up there and act a nut, that's why every 4 years, okay, it's time to look at your record, look at your report card, and see, do you have an A, B, C, D, or F? And then go back to the polls. And that's why you hear people out there campaigning. They get all these folks to endorse them and things of that nature. People that have credentials, behind their name, that are credible. When they say, I'm supporting this person, then they're believable, right? And then you go out and you vote for them because Dennis says that they are the right person to vote for, or Dr. Woods may say this is the right person to vote for, and they may give examples. Make people give you examples of why.
But you really need to do your own research.
Yes.
And I've said it, I'm not doing it. I just was on a phone call with an organization. I'm like, I'm not doing any voter registration.
Mm-hmm.
You can do you know how to call an Uber, you know how to register your debit card to cash out when you need money. Go register the vote. I'm done.
That's strong.
Like
Dennis done with y'all. We're not spoon feeding you anymore.
No, we're not feeding. I'm not doing no more fish fries. If you care about your life, then you will not wait for somebody to come and tell you who to vote for. I don't wait for you or anybody else.
Exactly.
Because I know how people impact my daily life.
But you're intelligent though, Dennis.
You don't got to be intelligent to know that the city pay for the streets. All of y'all who got messed up front wheel alignments because of the potholes,
tires damaged.
That's a city issue.
And I have a friend took it all the way to the end till she made the city pay for her.
Yeah, so I got an issue with that on my Mercedes.
Ooh.
And those I'm like, I'm not paying for that. But how do we get
the process?
The process.
Yes.
And the deal is that I tell people you have to care enough to ask the question. It's not hidden. People think like, oh, how do I find out about
who do
this?
I go to?
Who do I go? You find out everything else when you stalking your your ex online.
Sneakily.
When you spying on people online. People know how to do
stuff. Doing drive-by. Oh, drive-by.
You care. I tell people do what they want to do, what they care about. And the conversations that we need to start having with the Black community is that, do you really care? Do Black lives really matter to you?
They said it all the time.
Do Black lives matter to you?
Do they matter to these folks?
They killing each other.
Ooh.
They ain't voting for
they ain't voting.
Yeah, I ain't voting.
But
not going to work.
Not going to work. Got good jobs and lose them. We ain't gonna even talk about that
because you can't stop smoking weed for a week. Seriously, I'm saying this from an entrepreneur.
Oh, it may be 45, 60 days. So they pulling
people. I know people right now who have lost their jobs at Amazon and Volkswagen because they cannot stop smoking marijuana. And I'm just like, do you care about yourself?
Okay, now, so they got this hemp stuff, right? That's supposed to not have the real stuff in
THC stuff.
The THC stuff. So now, are they finding them when they got that in there? Because that
I don't think so. I don't think CBD. I can't remember CBC. I don't know what.
But do they get high off of it though?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think hemp is more like a antidepressant. It's not like the THC where you get high. That's marijuana.
Okay, but marijuana is antidepressant too.
Is it? I mean, I guess it could be.
They say when they smoke it, all their problems go away.
Well, then do I need to start smoking marijuana?
No, don't start smoking marijuana. Don't start smoking marijuana. But no, seriously, and you know what? That brings on the other issue.
That's what you're gonna be talking about at Hamlet next. You're gonna be telling.
And for those that like to smoke weed,
you're gonna be telling all the church people Saturday.
Yes,
smoke marijuana. Get out those prescription medicines.
Yes,
from the doctor.
All you got to do is smoke a little weed. I did not say that because y'all know
they started so many horrible rumors in the city.
I know they were. Dr. Woods preaching smoking weed. I did not say that. I don't smoke weed.
With your sneaky link, that's what it's gonna be.
And I have never smoked weed. I can say here today, and I never use the word never. I have never, and I'm proud of it, never smoke marijuana. Never.
Well, you're gonna be in that boat by yourself because
probably.
I cannot.
And I'm proud because that'll be one thing that when God's punishing everybody or looking over your scoreboard, He's gonna say, "Now, Dr. Woods, you get a few extra points because you didn't smoke weed."
Get in a VIP line. It's like those people who said I waited to have sex before
I got married.
I was like, okay, so you get a little bonus for that, right?
But sin is sin. So, okay, you got good on that, but you messed up real bad on this one, right?
Sex before marriage. Well, I ain't never been married, so I guess.
Okay.
Well, that's a whole other topic. You said a few times. I believe
that's the one he gonna send me to the back of the line for.
So every time you get married, do they reset the virginity levels? Like, can you reset? Like, I'm a virgin again. I'm married.
Mm-mm.
No,
Once
okay. Then I don't want to.
Once it's been dipped in, you can't
Sorry,
gain that
is
back.
we should be
It's
talking
over.
about voting.
It's over. I know. So back to
But sorry, this is why you should not have me on live
but
radio.
no. This is real talk. So Dennis is under the notion that you all are wise enough. Millennials are wise.
Yes, they are.
And the next generation, you all can get online and do everything y'all want to do. Y'all are traveling outside the country and everywhere from your phones and on your little games that y'all have, talking to people all overseas. And so if you can do that and get on here and make money too on their Facebook, they make it. They don't learn how to monetize it. They monetizing. I mean, I was every time I get on Facebook, I see this little thing say, "Send me some stars, send me some stars." And when you send people stars, that moves money.
Right, it does.
It moves money. So you on there monetizing your Facebook or
your influence,
becoming influencers and all this stuff online. You can definitely do research about the people who are running for office. I agree.
If you can.
I agree. So we have made it easy. Mm-hmm. We have made it easy at WPTP and Autumn Park Development Corporation for y'all to register. Since we know you're computer savvy, can we show the screen on what you all can do? Y'all can go to our website, WPTP1001fm.com or apdc98.org. And right on that screen, bam, there it is. Woo! Register here to vote. Click. All you got to do is click. You click right there and you're in the page or on the page where you sign up to register yourself to vote. It's that easy. Click. Everybody know how to click. You're right. Setting up voters drive. I mean, some people are going to come out. I've done it for eons with other organizations I've been affiliated with. And shout out to them. We're not shooting them down at all. But now that we're in the technology age now, they should be able to go to the website, click. You can go to WPTP1001fm.com like you're on right now, and then go to our APDC website. You could go to our website, which is the mother company of this radio station and all the other stuff we got going on out here. You can go to that website. Where is it at? Click. Where's the click at? It should be a click. Click it right down there. Yep. Register to vote right there. Click. It's on our front page, y'all. Click. And it takes you to that site where you fill it out. If you can't read and write that well, get somebody that got some little education or whatever and let them sit right beside you and walk you through it so you don't mess up. Okay? But when you go to vote and they say you're not registered to vote, on that last screen when you register to vote, print that off. Print it off where you successfully registered to vote. Print that off. Carry that with you until you get your card. Everybody, if you don't know whether or not you're still registered because you registered 10 or 15 years ago, and you think that your card may not be any good, or you're still saying, I'm registered to vote. I registered 20 years ago, but you show up at a poll and they're saying you're not registered. It's probably because you're at the wrong place. Because I think they do this sometime too. They scramble the poll sites. You used to go here, but now they've rezoned it.
Listen, I'm telling you something, Dr. Woods. I hear you. Great website, by the way. I think that's the website for Hamilton
County. Yes.
.gov.
Yes.
I've never. They have moved my voting precinct every year. First of all, I vote early. I never vote.
So you don't have to worry about.
So I ain't worry about that. You one of them people that get all discombobulated with stuff like that.
People do get discombobulated. They wait till the day. Today is the day you got to vote. Tell them about that early vote. Tell them about that.
It's just best to early vote because you get to go to a couple. I think they've added some locations now.
Hickson,
Collegedale,
Amnicola, Red Bank is one.
I think Red Bank is one, but most importantly for us, it's Amnicola and Northmore Road at Brainerd Recreation Center.
Yeah, Brainerd Recreation Center. Everybody know where Brainerd Rec Center next to Brainerd High School. Just go. When they say voting is open, don't wait till voters' day. Go to one of those 4 places. Yeah. And no matter where you live, you can vote.
You can vote. But the deal is, again, like I tell people, when y'all are doing these registration drives, I'm gonna be in Cancun. Okay, I'm gonna show up doing early voting, and because I'm telling you, it is too competitive now.
It is
And when
very.
I say competitive, you have Republicans who are not the majority in the. I tell people we are not a red state.
No,
We
but it
are an
makes it look like it.
unregistered state.
And people that
And
don't vote.
apathetic voters who don't want to vote.
Just don't want to vote.
I mean, and
I
it's
don't
not,
get it.
and there are hundreds of thousands of people who are on the rolls who are registered to vote in Hamilton County. They don't vote.
How can they check to
10%
see?
voter turnout rate.
How can they check? Because here's a big question. People say, how do I know I'm still registered or if I'm registered at all? How can they check to see if they still good?
That Hamilton 10, there's a voter registration lookup.
Can we go back to that?
That
screen?
Let's see, pull that. It's Hamilton10.
Once you click on our website, and it'll take you to the voters registration.
Yeah, we could do it right
site.
now. This will be fun. Let's see.
Okay. So where do they go?
Okay.
Confirm you're registered to vote.
Yeah, that's
that
probably
right
it. Should say voter look at. This is fun. I can't see. Yeah, that's it. So I can't see that far, but what is that?
The last name, last four of your social.
Okay, we can do mine. Okay, put last name Clark. This is fun, people. Let's see if I'm registered to vote.
Ooh.
Last name Clark.
Last four of your social.
My last four is 2686. And what's the
year and month of date of birth?
12/20/1983. See how easy this is?
Oh, it's real easy.
Let's see what it says about Dennis Milton Clark.
12 what?
12/20/1983. I'll be 40 this December.
You're gonna hit the big 40.
I hit the big 40.
Ooh.
Let's see here. And it should route you to the Secretary of State's office.
Damn, that is.
No, it doesn't. Okay, this is new for Hamilton County. So there's my address. I do vote. I used to vote at Brainerd Recreation Center.
You got the update.
But they did move it to New Covenant, but I don't vote at New Covenant. Let's see. Greg Beck is my county commissioner. It tells you who those people. Todd Garding Howard, Yusuf Hakeem is my state rep.
Are you still living at that address?
That is correct. I may need to update some stuff.
No, that's it. Okay, wait a minute.
That's New Covenant.
Okay.
Now I personally have to update mine because I had a recent change.
Okay, so that's it. Let's talk about that.
This is just checking the status of your application, but I'm not going to talk about my address on the air.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying
there's a
in
reason.
General, if you're active and registered to vote, it'll show you where you need to go. It's really kind of illegal if you've moved. Let's just straighten this out. If you have moved and you did not change that or go to the Hamilton County Election Commission and let them know that you've changed, then there's a word called voter fraud.
If you vote, now you can leave it, but if I show up and try to vote at that address
and you vote and it goes through,
and that's considered voter fraud.
So make sure when you check your voter's registration and it says you're active, that your address is the same.
It's still the same.
If it's not, that's where you have to go in there and correct it, because you're showing up, say at Brainerd to vote because you didn't vote early, or maybe you did vote early, but just to say on the voter's date, that's where you're supposed to go to vote. And they're saying that you're not registered.
That's right. And what people need to understand is that you can still
vote.
You can still vote.
And
you have to do a provisional ballot. So
yes.
So the purpose of that is to show that once you're in, you're in. I could actually still show up with that address and go vote, and I would have to do a provisional ballot.
Okay, tell them one more time.
That's up, and you have to request that.
If they tell you you're not registered to vote, do not leave, people.
You on site.
Do not leave.
You can ask for a provisional ballot. And what that means is that they'll work it out.
They'll figure it out.
You've gotten your paperwork in. But to change address, I can't remember. You can do it on the Secretary of State's site. This is the county site. Our next scheduled elections are not until March, which are the primaries for the school board seats. Which, we've never had. This will be our second election for primary school board seats.
That's
and one that's coming up. There we go. but it's there. Google. Everybody's smart with Google, or you can just go to the Riverside Drive location
Just go in person,
and go
y'all.
in person.
Just go in person.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I've got a. Oh, and your driver's license. That's the thing.
Oh, there we go. He's got it up.
Your driver's license. They're gonna ask for your driver's license, and that's what they usually use to compare where you're supposed to be registered to vote. That's why when you move, you're supposed to change your driver's license. And when you change your driver's license,
You're supposed to.
It no longer matches your voter's card. Make sure your driver's license address and your voter's address matches, and make sure you still live there. Like
right.
You turn the lights on at that address.
Yeah. You pay EPB.
You pay EPB there. So, or somebody paying it.
We got some fraudulent people who who have voted, ran for office, or attempted to run, and
did not live there because they wanted to run and be elected in that district, but knowing they didn't live there. That's fraud.
That's fraud.
That's real fraud.
There we go. And
how did you get there?
Oh, so you just go through the process and click next.
Oh, okay. So
it's a very easy process.
It's real easy.
That's what I tell people. I'm out of the business. I'll let y'all.
He gonna be in Cancun, y'all.
Because I'm telling you, like, it is. We have got to stop holding hands in our culture. And I'm over it because we are becoming a very complacent group of people. Black people don't want to hear this when we're talking about each other, but I don't care.
Talk about it.
I do not care. Because the numbers don't lie.
Can't nobody get on your children like you get on your children.
That's right.
Can't nobody talk about your people like you can talk about them. And so we got this is a family matter right here. Serious family matter. For an
example, where we are in Alton Park right now, this precinct is probably one of the lowest voter turnout precincts in the city of Chattanooga now, unfortunately. But we know why. And they moved a lot of people around, but they're moving people back in this precinct.
But they're not the people that used to live
here.
They're not in the same political party.
They're not in the same political party. But you could not determine who the mayor of Chattanooga was until this precinct was counted.
That's it.
That was back in the day with like Ron Littlefield, Mayor Dalton, Roberts.
Yes.
All of those people. Corker, it was like, oh, well, what's because it was it was a black precinct.
And they had
now they don't care.
They're like, whatever.
But that's one. But some of us are still here. When they cleared out the projects, I think that took a lot of black votes out of Alton Park 1.
Well, I don't know, because when they tore down the projects, they rebuilt
that's true.
The villages.
And they're here.
And Emma Wheeler Homes has not been torn down yet.
That's true.
And then they have a new place of Section 8 housing, like you're going back toward Broad Street.
Yeah,
that place.
It's right. It's almost like 20th Street and Broad Street.
Yes,
I know exactly.
And then there's another set of low income housing, Alton Place. So they have like 4 different low income housings in Alton Park community. We need to make sure that you are, and they can hear me because this radio station broadcasts really good in the downtown area and all of Alton Park and East Lake. If you're in this area, please. You're getting benefits. I'm telling you, if you live in these housing projects, most 9 out of 10, you're getting some type of subsidy.
Right, exactly.
You need to make sure your behind is registered to vote, and that you check your voter's registration and make sure it's still active. Just go to our website, click on it, put your information in, just like Den just did. He's active.
Very active. And I do need to update my address.
He found out he needs to update his address. He's going to do that because he's a law-abiding citizen. He works for the state in the DA's office. So he's going to follow the law to the T. And so we're here mainly not to register you to vote, but to educate you.
That's right.
Right? On how to go get registered yourself and why it's important for you to register to vote. Because after the locals are over in 2024, don't we have a major United States of America presidential election coming up?
Yeah, so we got a lot. Let me tell you what we got.
There's a lot on the table.
First of all, 2024 is about to be a very busy time.
It's about to go
how
down.
much time did we get like a 10-minute warning? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that was.
Okay. I was like, where's the counter? Oh, 5 minutes. It's all moved over there. I try to pay attention to those prompts.
Yes.
so we have school board elections coming up for District 4. You know, Tiffany Robinson, which is our white school board member. You know, there
She
was a big
running
fuss
again.
about, you know, Caritza being the only black school board member.
Right.
Her seat will be available in the primaries. I don't want to speak for her.
Yeah.
I don't.
She's got a big time job. Kudos to Carissa
Yeah,
in the
Caritza,
mayor's office over the early childhood
to
education.
administrative early learning. But Tiffany
Yes.
Robinson's seat, which was the seat that was held by Little Man Ricks,
Yes.
she's held that seat down for almost 8 years now. But can you
Yeah.
believe that?
I know.
So that seat is coming up. So we got to find someone
To run.
to run. I'll be in a meeting on the 25th about that.
Oh, y'all.
Um,
That seat is coming up.
and it's the primary. So you in 90 days,
Ooh.
the primary for school board. So now you got to run as a Republican or a Democrat. So we got to have a primary. So we got to have Democrats who are run against each other for that seat.
Oh, we need to have her on here to talk about her district and what areas, because she's not running again.
Yeah, I can't
And,
confirm or deny that.
I know,
she's
but
not
that's okay.
running.
We can. She's the current board,
Right.
board of education person right now, so I can just have her on as a guest if
That's
she'll
right.
come on. So Tiffany, you know, you're my girl out there. I've talked to you many times, and I want you to come on my show. I'm inviting you. I'm going to call you too, but I'm inviting you to come on the show to talk about what you do in that seat and what areas or
Because
boundaries,
it has changed.
because it has changed, and the leadership. We're going to talk about the leadership in education and where it needs to be. And going out, if that's the case, if you're going out, what would you like to see happen?
Right.
So
So we have her seat coming up.
Carissa Moses' seat coming up.
Carissa is not on that. She's
not in the primary.
She's not. Yeah, we just did hers 2 years ago when we elected Greg Beck. You have the State House seat coming up.
Garner?
No, Yusuf
Yeah.
Hakim's
Oh,
seat
yeah,
is
yeah,
coming
yeah.
back
Oh,
up
yeah, yeah,
again
yeah,
because
yeah,
that
Because
seat
Garner
comes out
Center.
every 2 years. That's going to be interesting. You know,
Very
the
interesting.
two. You probably will see a very familiar city councilwoman.
Well, she's already said
Has
she's
she
come on
already
the
said?
show. She's come on the show and announced that she's gone on this show.
Okay.
Demetrius Coonrod has announced that she's going to be running
For state representative. Okay,
for
I didn't know if she had
District 28.
officially.
She has officially did it on. You can go back and look at. Our shows are all recorded. You can go back and look at her. She was on BB's Barbershop Juice show, which we air here,
Okay.
and she was her guest on her show.
All right.
And she announced that she's going to be running for Yusuf Hakim's seat, which is House District 28 seat. And so that's going to be very interesting. I'll have both of them back on to talk about what they're going to do.
So that's going to be a hot race.
I know Hakeem is running again. I do know that.
So that's going to be a race to watch. If Coonrod is successful, or if she's not successful, she will still maintain her city council seat because city council races don't come back up until 2025. So we got a lot going on next year. With
and
primaries.
She could be, they could be appointing someone if she wins House District 28 seat. They'll have to have a special election.
She can keep her seat like Esther Helton has done.
Okay.
Remember, State Representative Esther Helton is an East Ridge City Councilwoman and a state representative. So if she wins, she could be our state representative and her city council person.
Okay. All right now. Ooh,
it's gonna be juicy.
Juicy.
We ought to get them to come and do a debate on this show. Like put them on
that
this
would
side
be very nice. Would you like to come and be the host?
I would definitely have. Now, let me just say this: I adore both of them, and I will. And I have told I'm friends with Coonrod. I have a lot of respect for Yusuf Hakim. He supported my family when we were going through the death of my youngest brother, and I have learned politically that when you have friends who are running against each other, is to stay out of it.
Stay out of it.
Stay out of it.
Stay out of it.
Then I'm probably give money to both of them. That's what you do.
If you get and that has come up.
I just want to be on the record.
Someone has asked me, and both people were very good friends of mine. And so one asked me to make a donation to their campaign, and I said yes. And when I make a donation to your campaign, I'm going to also make the same donation
to the opponent.
And they didn't understand that.
They don't understand that. Because I like both of them.
Because I like both of them. So if my friend over here sees I gave my friend over here $1,000. They're gonna be like, "Where's mine?" Oh, so
Right.
you're really supporting them.
Exactly.
I'm supporting both of you. May the best man
May
win.
the best man win.
And obviously, I can't vote for both of you, and I might not even be in your district to even vote for you, but I can support you.
But and that's another thing with 1 minute remaining is that there are a lot of people who are not running for office. The difficulty right now is to find young, energetic professionals who want to run for school board, who want to run for city council, who want to run for these clerk positions. That's another thing we talk about.
Oh,
These county clerk positions.
oh, they open. They coming open.
When they
aren't
come, they're coming open, but they get paid. They're like
Oh,
87,000.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but they're right now they're partisan seats, and so we don't run for them seats. City court clerk, Hamilton County criminal court clerk, register of deeds, the trustee. These are all positions we don't go for. But anyway,
Y'all, we
I
need to get
digress.
educated. We're gonna educate y'all some more.
There's so much education.
And Dennis has opened up a can of worms. We're gonna be calling you. Yes.
Oh, am I coming back?
Yes. Yes.
I owe Dr. Woods money, so I have to come back.
Stop it already.
Hey, I'll be back for part 3 and part 4
already. And you ain't working it off that way either.
No, I'm not. I'm paying that in full.
So ooh, how'd you do that? So we're gonna invite Representative Yusuf Hakeem on and City Councilwoman Demetrius Coonrod to have a debate right here. We got to get that debate material ready.
And I'm sure they will both be open to it.
Oh, yeah, right here.
You know, they've had a contentious election before.
Yes.
You know, Yusuf and Demetrius, you know, when she defeated him.
Yeah. She beat him pretty bad.
She beat him pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he would be open to that, but I will hope so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, y'all have got an earful today. And you know, we don't go around gossiping. So be sure to listen close the first time. Okay.
Oh, let me give this disclaimer. The thoughts and views that I've expressed today are those of my own and not of my employer or any of their affiliates or any nonprofit organization that I am associated with.
Ditto that for me, Dr. Woods. These are my thoughts and my mind and my words. It is not that of anybody that I'm affiliated with, who I work for, because you know I got in trouble once before.
Yeah, I know. We had to get those disclaimers.
I ain't representing none of y'all. I'm representing me, myself, and I. Oh, I do probably have to say that WPTP Radio. Yes. I have to make sure that I let everybody know that this is owned by the federal government.
Oh,
so yeah, this is FCC.
Did not know.
It's licensed. Every radio station is owned by the federal government.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we sit here as CEO, but we ain't running nothing. Gotcha. Say something wrong and do something wrong, so don't they pull you off the air?
I know about the FCC. I don't have to rumble and tumble with them a few times.
Yes, and everything that goes on in this radio station is controlled by the FCC, and that's why this whole little setup in here is federal. So don't come up in here with no stuff. You're going to be convicted of a felony and you're going to prison. So don't mess with nothing up in here. Don't try to come up in here and do nothing. This is the property of the federal government, everything in here. Just thought I'd let you know that. So with that being said, it has been a wonderful show. Dennis, thank you again
for inviting me to
come on. Yes. And y'all, yes, it's fun. And y'all know today is Saturday. So you know tomorrow is Sunday. So you got to go find you a church home to visit and to give the Lord all the praise and glory and thanks for all that he's done. Yes. And if you can't go to a church because you can't physically get out, there's something going on, then you know what? With all this new technology, you can visit any church you want to. That live streams right from your bedroom, your kitchen, your living room, and still get your praise on.
Hallelujah.
Yes. And if you're still struggling, you don't know where you want to go to church, but you know you want to go to church,
you can call Dr. Woods.
She'll always pray with you. Yes, I will always pray with you. But you can come to Greater Emmanuel Apostolic Church, located at 400 Tunnel Boulevard, where the wonderful, illustrious pastor Paul Warfield is our pastor, and he had his 50th birthday this past Saturday. And yes, we did a wonderful cruise down the Tennessee River on the Southern Belle. he and I and his wife and a couple of other couples. It was a wonderful, we got so much stuff in Chattanooga to do. That was a beautiful cruise.
I'm sure it was.
It was really nice. And so check out the Southern Belle. It's nice.
Excuse me. I know your engineer just gave us our warning, but I'm going to shout out my church.
Go ahead, shout it out.
Shout out to Marcellus Borns at Grace Point at our
Yes.
Hardy campus. We meet every Sunday, 10 a.m. and 12 o'clock. So there's 2 services. We'll be there tomorrow as our friends and family day, and we're doing super baptismal.
Okay.
And I work behind the scenes doing that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm not being rebaptized tomorrow. I probably should be, but I'm not. I think sometimes they want to redip me. But anyway, so shout out to Grace Point and Marcellus
real holy
Barnes.
water.
That's right.
Yeah, but so those are 2 great churches. There are many other great churches around the city, but we speaking for what's ours,
Well,
we got
fed.
the air. This is our mic, this is my
mic,
show.
yeah.
So I get to say what I want to say on my show by my pastor that I love and his beautiful wife, Sister Lisa Warfield. We love you.
Oh,
And
Lisa.
yes, she's a beautiful woman and is an amazing woman of God. So with that being said, I will see y'all next Saturday at Hamlet. I won't be on here, but we're gonna come live. Can we come live from Hamlet?
You haven't discussed it with your people yet?
Oh, I ain't discussed with my engineer. Y'all, we're gonna have a discussion
Lord,
after this
help
show.
y'all pray for Dr. Woods right now.
We're gonna try to bring it live for y'all that cannot be at Hamlet Chapel because I got something to say.
What is the topic? It doesn't say. Surprise?
No. It's bridging the intergenerational gap between the seasoned women and the younger ladies.
Wow.
Yes, it's gonna be powerful.
And that starts at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the
Saturday
morning
on Coward Street.
And y'all know I'm professional, so I will have my PowerPoint presentation and all of my.
Are you gonna be long-winded?
See, there you go. See, I'm
gonna come.
Everybody say I'm long-winded.
What's your engineer's name?
Oh, that's Michael, and that's
Michael.
Robert.
I'm going to be there Saturday with a stop card. That's what you need to get. You need to get like a red stop card, not a timer.
Everybody says
and
about me.
I'm gonna be there at Hamlet with a little on the front row, like they do the politicians.
You're so dirty.
When your time
He's so dirty. Dennis so dirty, y'all. He dirty. He dirty. He is dirty. So you know what?
So much
They're
fun.
gonna give me the length of time
that
I have, and I'm gonna stick by it. I may go over a couple of minutes like I'm doing now. Oh, we -7 minutes. Okay, y'all. All right, we -7 minutes.
But this is fun. We gotta
start
go a little early next time.
We gotta go. I like the -7. We're in the -7 degree mark, so we gotta get off the air. We love y'all. See you next Saturday at Hamlet.